Later on in her life, Ruth Paine goes down to Nicaragua, and there were reports of her going to Sandinista sympathizer meetings and taking notations of what went down. For many, many people, the veneer has come off Ruth and Michael Paine. I mean, they're just not credible anymore.
I know a woman who in the early 1990s worked with Ruth Paine as a Christian peace activist in Nicaragua. This was during the time of the Civil War in Nicaragua, during the Reagan and Bush 1 years.
It was a contentious time down there. It was very clear that the CIA was supporting the so-called Contra freedom fighters all the way. The Contras were the ones opposing the Sandinista revolution.
The Christian group that this woman and Ruth were involved with was called Pro-Nica, and they were helping the poor people of Nicaragua who naturally sided with the Sandinistas. And because of this, these Christian peace groups were often heavily monitored by our U.S. intelligence agencies.
My work in Nicaragua was with a Quaker organization. We had a project to help the poorest of the poor in Nicaragua. And at one of these meetings, a woman showed up and proceeded to accuse me of a lot of things.
She introduced herself as Ruth Paine, representing the Quakers. And I said, well, you're not the Quaker Ruth Paine who knew Marina Oswald, are you?
This woman told me that after Sue Wheaton had told people about Ruth's association with the assassination, which they did not know about, then they became even more suspicious of her. She and others in their organization believed that Ruth was a CIA agent or asset who was down there for the purpose of gathering information about the group.
So Ruth had a photographer that came and was with her. He was there snapping everybody. And that's when they said, well, we're doing this article for the Nicaragua Network. But Nicaragua Network had never heard of such a story. They were taking everybody's picture at a meeting, and we tried to take their picture, and they left. I think in her being one of the primary defenders, if not the primary defender of the official story, she's been a disinformation agent about the Kennedy assassination. So even if she didn't have prior knowledge, she continued for whatever her motives were, whether threat or pure belief, to go along with it. It's so easy to justify what you do, you know. It is for any of us.